I remember this one day, like, this was probably like maybe like 2 weeks after we had you know, kind of started talking. And I remember one day she just kissed me. And I was confused, man. I was like, that was my first kiss ever with a girl. Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. My name is Eb, and if you're new here, this is the Life with Eb channel. So basically I just chronicle, you know, just my day-to-day life and kind of, you know, what's going on with me. But today I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys a story time. I wanted to go ahead and share my coming out story with y'all today. I know it's a lot of, you know, younger people who tend to go on YouTube and, you know, get inspiration from other people's coming out stories. So I just wanted to go ahead and share mine with y'all today. So yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right into it, and y'all can kind of just listen to my experience, and maybe your experience was a little bit easier than mine, maybe your experience was a little bit harder than mine, but regardless, I hope you get some insight, and, you know, feel free to drop any questions, anything that I can answer down in the comments below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and definitely watch this video all the way to the end, because this story is kind of crazy. So getting into the story, so yeah, let's start from 8th grade. So when I was in 8th grade, I was a hooper. Like, I pretty much played basketball, you know, my entire life. You know, I started at a very young age, and I just hooped all the way in elementary school. You know, I played flag football in elementary school, as well as, like I said, just playing basketball. I used to play with the boys. I used to, you know, be out there playing with the boys, beating the boys. So, you know, I was pretty good. So in 8th grade, I was on the team, on the middle school team, and the varsity coach from the high school would always come to our games, and he would bring some of the players from the high school to come and see me play. I guess he liked what he saw from me. So, you know, basically I got an invite to come and like do some like open gyms and stuff with the high school team. So, you know, fast forward, you know, to the point, I think it was like after the middle school season. So, you know, I was in 8th grade, you know, going to the high school and working with like varsity players. So you're talking about people that's, you know, I was maybe like 14 at the time. So I was definitely, you know, playing with 16, 17, 18-year-olds, you know, as an 8th grader. So again, played basketball. You know, I went to a couple open gyms, went to a couple workouts with them, and I got to kind of, you know, really kind of know the team. And also I played AAU basketball, so, you know, I was kind of already familiar with the coach and everything. So I really was just getting myself like acclimated into the actual team. So I would, you know, kind of spend some time with them. I would help them with fundraisers and things of that nature. So I remember one day in particular, I was in the hallway, still in middle school, so I was getting ready to graduate 8th grade. So I was in the hallway one day, and one of the girls who was on my team, she was also, you know, going to workouts with me as well at the high school, and she was just like, hey, you know, she's like, there's a rumor going around that, you know, that you like girls or something like that. And I was like, what? Like, because at this time I was like completely oblivious to, you know, to the gay world, as far as, you know, just do anything to do with the gay world. I was completely just oblivious to it. At this point, you know, I definitely had like my little middle school crushes, you know, on boys and everything, and honest to God, like, you know, talking to girls and, you know, dealing with girls in that kind of way was definitely like the very last thing that was on my mind at the time. So again, I kind of reacted like, you know, like who said that, who told you that, like, I'm not gay, like, you know, because I really wasn't. Like, I was very confused on, you know, who was spreading this rumor, you know, at the time. So, you know, fast forward, I ended up finding out later that the girl who told me completely like made it up. Like, it like nobody had said that I was gay. I think that she was just kind of like testing the waters to kind of see like what I was gonna say, because she was gay. So I don't know if she like had like a crush on me or anything like that, but you know, worst, you know, long story short, you know, I ended up finding out later on that that was a lie. So you know, 8th grade, you know, graduation comes, and over the summertime I'm working out with the high school team. So you know, I was coming in as a 9th grader, and I was playing straight on the varsity team. So you know, just skip JV completely. So during our summer workouts, you know, there was a senior, incoming senior. So she was going to the 12th grade and I was going to the 9th grade, and it was just something just about her, like, that I was just kind of like, I don't know, it was just like a weird feeling, a very like weird feeling, a feeling that I had never experienced before. And I don't know, I just always thought that, I don't know, I just thought she was cute, I guess. I don't really know you know, what the exact feeling was at the time, but it was kind of weird. So you know, we would do like the summer workouts, and you know, we run on the track and everything, and I would always like kind of like be looking for her to come, like, you know, kind of like hoping that she would come. And the thing that's kind of like weird about it is, like, you know, she was like, I don't really know if she was a stud, but she, you know, it was weird, like, I don't know. And again, I wasn't like dressing like a boy at this time, so I was, you know, very much still very, you know, girly. Well, I was tomboyish, but I was like wearing girl clothes. I was like not wearing boy clothes at this time. So anyways, I would just always kind of look for her. And I don't know, it was just over that summer, I just started to have like these very like weird feelings. So fast forward to school actually starting. So school started in August, and I was just getting more and more like kind of acclimated with the team and everything. And I remember that one of the girls on the team, it was her birthday, like the end of August, like going into like Labor Day weekend. So she was like having a party at her house, and you know, it was her, and it was like the majority of the team was gonna be there. So you know, of course, me being in 9th grade, I obviously wanted to like hang out with the team, and I just thought it was, you know, cool, you know, that they wanted me to come to this party. So of course I asked my mom, and she was okay with me going, and I went over, and you know, this party was no cap. It was very, very, very interesting. Like pretty much everybody that came to the party was gay. So you know, pretty much everybody on the team was gay, and I just felt so clueless as far as just coming into, you know, this gay world. So that particular party that I went to, I remember hanging out. I remember like, you know, sitting in her room at her house, and I just remember just like, you know, so much drama between her and the girl that she was talking to at the time. Like they had some drama at the party, and then she had invited these other girls from this other high school that I had never seen before. So I met this girl at the party, and looking back at it, like, I don't even know what I was thinking, but she was a senior as well, and like again, I was a freshman. So met this girl, we kind of like started like talking a little bit. I was still, like I said, very new to the gay world, but you know, I don't know, again, I was just kind of like going with the flow. So I started like kind of talking to this girl, and even after the party, like we kind of like was like keeping in touch. Like, mind you, you got to think about this, like when I was a freshman in high school, like it was a very long time ago. So this was like before like cell phones was like really like popping. Like, to give y'all just some kind of like insight, I was in high school, and my freshman year was 2003. So again, this was before cell phones was like really like popping like that. But we would like, I don't even know like how we would stay in touch, because I don't think I had a cell phone at the time. But anyways, we was some way somehow we was like kind of like keeping in touch and talking. So it eventually got to a point where the girl, she went to a different school, and she would come to my school and come and pick me up from school, and she like take me home, even though I lived like, as far as like drive, it was a long walk where I lived, but driving wise it was probably like a 5-minute drive. So she would come all the way, she lived probably like about maybe like 20-25 minutes away from me. She'd come from her house, come, you know, pick me up from school and take me, and you know, we would just really sit outside my house because my mom, she was working and she didn't get home till later in the day. And you know, I didn't want to be like crazy or nothing and, you know, have nobody coming inside my mom's house like that. So we would just sit in the driveway and we would just talk. And I remember this one day, like, this was probably like maybe like 2 weeks after we had you know, kind of started talking. And I remember one day she just kissed me. And I was confused, man. I was like, that was my first kiss ever with a girl, and I was like, I don't know, I felt very, very, very weird from it. And again, like I said, she was older than me, so you know, I don't know, it just felt very, very weird and uncomfortable, I guess. But a part of me was like weirded out by it, but a part of me was kind of like curious about it. So she kissed me, and even after then, like, you know, we continued to talk, and I just felt myself like kind of like changing or whatever. So this girl, she ended up having a house party at her house. This girl who I was somewhat talking to, she ended up having a house party at her house that, again, I asked my mom could I go to, and she let me. Like, one thing I will say about my mom back then was, you know, she pretty much let me be able to kind of hang out with who it was that I wanted to hang out with. And she gave me, you know, a little bit of freedom. Like, she wasn't like, you know, locking me down. Like, I was a very responsible kid. I always made good grades, so you know, I really wasn't in trouble like that. But I did get in trouble one time, and I should touch on that. But anyways, ended up going to the girl house for her house party. And it was pretty much, again, like the same, kind of like the first party. It was kind of like the same scene, a bunch of just gay girls. And then I ended up meeting another girl who I didn't really know at the time, but I was intrigued by her. So just to kind of bring you guys back in to catch you up, so I was at the party of this girl who I met at a previous party, but she had invited somebody else over there that I had just kind of become intrigued with. So yeah, so me and the girl were at the party, and we just, you know, kind of kicking it. Like, we don't like go together or nothing like that. Like, we're not together. It's just kind of like, you know, we just, you know, trying to chilling. Like I said, I'm a freshman, you know, they're all, pretty much all these people were like junior and senior, so I'm just trying to like really fit in at this point. So yeah, so we're at the party, we just hanging. Her parents were like really cool, like, you know, her parents were there, like, and it was just a really, like, her parents were cool with her being gay, and I think her older sister was gay as well. So, you know, everybody was cool. And then I met this girl, and I was just like instantly like, dang, like, I wanted to like talk to her. So, you know, of course, you know, I still was kind of like talking to the other girl too, but then I became interested in this other girl. And then again, she also went to the same like school as the other girl. So again, I was just kind of like figuring things out. So, you know, again, me and her kind of exchanged information again, and you know, we just started talking, and I really liked this girl. I was like really feeling her, and you know, I could definitely feel like my feelings were starting to change, and I was starting to figure out like what it was becoming. So mind you, I was still talking to the other girl, but things were kind of like, you know, kind of drifting. She would come and get me from my house and from school, and we'd go sit in the park, and you know, we kind of like, you know, talking among other things as well. And you know, she had this van, so it was just like, it was super convenient. So I was like wilding, like bro, like really looking back at it, like I was really wilding at 14, like crazy, like it was crazy. So anyways, you know, I ended up like kind of like just you know, getting off that girl, the original girl who I was talking to, and I was just kind of focusing on this other girl who I met at the party. And like I said, I talked to her, and I, you know, I think I remember going to her house and hanging out with her at her house as well. She would, like, all these, like, I would always have a ride. All these girls had cars, so I would always have a ride to go wherever it was that I needed to go. And yeah, so she just came and picked me up, and you know, we hang out, and I really did like her. And I believe, like, she was pretty much like my, like, first, like, real, like, crush, like, for real, for like girl crush, because I really was feeling her. And I don't think we ever, like, actually, like, got together, but the chemistry and everything was just kind of there. So fast forward, you know, freshman year of high school, like I said, I'm playing on varsity basketball team, so you know, I'm pretty much hanging with the whole team, you know, meeting people, going to parties, hanging out, and just kind of, you know, meeting people, and you know, pretty much just, you know, kind of living this newly discovered gay life that I eventually realized that I started to like. So things started to change with me at this time. So you talking about, like, my clothes started to change. Like, I started to dress a lot more masculine. Like, I would take my brother's clothes and I would stuff them in my backpack at school, and I would leave the house in, like, girl clothes, and then when I got to school I would change my clothes into the boy clothes. And you know, I just pretty much just was rocking it like that. And my mom, like, she pretty much, like, never knew, because you know, anytime I came home she was never home. So I just kind of, like, was doing that for a long time, you know, going into 10th grade. And I was, you know, definitely dating girls, like, as far as through basketball. Basketball exposed me to so many different people, so many different girls. I was meeting girls at tournaments. I was, you know, talking to people on my team. Like, I was just, when I say I was, like, really out there just figuring things out, I was really out there and just kind of figuring things. Hey y'all, sorry, my camera had died. So anyways, so I was just kind of, like, figuring things out, you know, at this time. Going, I think I had stopped at 10th grade, so I was figuring things out. Really, just my wardrobe was changing, everything was changing, my mentality was changing, so things were just, like, different. And I was, you know, really liking the person who I was becoming, because again, I just felt like, you know, I was comfortable in my own skin. And I think that that just started to kind of, you know, be more evident, because again, like I said, I was, like, talking to girls here and there and pretty much everywhere. Like, I was just, like, really on a roll. I had felt like I had, you know, really caught my wave, and I was really on that. So again, so I'm in 10th grade at this point, and you know, I'm just getting more attention. Like, you know, girls started to kind of, like, you know, begin to gravitate towards me. You know, even, like, girls who were, you know, considered to be straight or whatever, you know, I started to get a lot of attention. And you know, on the basketball floor, 10th grade was, like, I always call that my sophomore slump, because my game kind of fell off slightly. I don't think it was due to any girls or anything. I think I was just, like, you know, on the court, like, I really wasn't being, like, super confident like I normally am. But anyways, so I met a girl, and you know, we kind of started, like, dating, and she was, like, my main squeeze. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, I was really into her. Like, we were definitely dating, and you know, she was my first girlfriend, so you know, it definitely was some very, like, you know, love struck feelings there, you know, being as a young kid. So she was on my AAU team, and you know, we used to go on tournaments on the weekends, and so we would spend a night together. You know, I would go over to her house. Like, it was a lot of opportunity there to, you know, pretty much, you know, bond or do whatever it is that, you know, we pretty much wanted to do, because our parents really had no clue. So anyways, like I said, at this point my wardrobe is changing, my mentality is changing, and I guess my mom is, like, starting to notice things, and she's just starting to notice, you know, that, you know, things are changing with me. And I'm not really sure who said what, but I think, you know, somebody one of the parents of, you know, my high school team, I think somebody had mentioned to her that it was a lot of girls on the team that were gay, and she had heard that I was gay. So, and that's kind of like what started it all. So my mom, I remember it vividly, my mom asked me, she was like, you know, hey, you know, I heard such and such, you know, this parent was saying this, that, and the third. And the particular parent who told her was like one of the nosiest. It was a mom. I ain't gonna say her name, but she was literally like the nosiest parent. Like, she's just that parent who just in everybody else's business, and she should have been concerned with her own daughter's business. But anyways, you know, she had told my mom, and you know, my mom asked me, and I flat out just denied it. I was just like, you know, no, I'm not gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just doing me. You know, I like to dress like this because this is what's comfortable for me. And my mom, she literally just, you know, she asked me, and then like a week later she asked me again. She was like, you sure? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell me if you are. And it's just like, she just kept asking and kept asking, and it was just to the point where it was just like, you know, the feelings that I was having, like, I just felt like I really couldn't hold it in anymore. And she just really, like, I always say this, my mom literally aggravated me out of the closet, because she would just continuously just ask and just ask and just ask and just ask. And it got to the point where I was just so annoyed with her that one day I was just like, yes, I'm gay, yes, I have a girlfriend, and now you finally know. Like, it was pretty much just like that, because I was just so aggravated by her. And I remember just, you know, being kind of in that moment, and I think I was just so kind of like upset about, you know, just, I felt like she didn't let me, you know, just be comfortable, you know, with who I was, and just, I was figuring it out. So I, you know, really wasn't like 100% comfortable with it, but I just felt like she just kept asking and kept asking and kept asking. And eventually I was just like, yes, I have a girlfriend, yes, I'm gay, yes, this is what you heard, this is true. And she was just kind of like, I think she was not expecting me to say that, you know, yes, I was gay, or to affirm what it was that she heard, but she was just kind of shocked. And she wanted to immediately just talk about it, and it wasn't like supportive, I want to talk about it. It was more so like, you know, just parents being just like, she was shocked. Like, I didn't get in trouble or anything. I don't ever remember like getting in trouble. I don't ever remember like, you know, being punished or anything like that. But I think she just kind of already had an idea, and things were definitely weird for a little bit of time. But again, you know, I wasn't kicked out of the house. I wasn't sent to go live with my dad. I wasn't, you know, I didn't have any of those things happen. So, you know, when I hear other people's story about some of the trials and the tribulations they have had with their parents, and their parents kicking them out and not being really supportive of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's really unfortunate. So with me, I was thankful that, you know, although my mom did not like it, you know, initially, you know, she was just like, you know, she doesn't support it, she's against it, you know, whatever. And you know, that was okay. Whatever your feelings are, you know, I respect it. I felt like I was just coming into my own, and you know, this is who I was. But I will say that my mom, you know, she didn't support my decision, but she supported me as a person and as her child, because she was just kind of like, you know, I do not agree with it, I don't like it, but I still love you. It does not stop me from loving you. So, you know, I was super thankful that, you know, it didn't go like left, as far as, like I said, me being kicked out or anything like that. But after I did tell my mom, it was just like a big load was just lifted off my shoulders. So I was super thankful about that. And yeah, and after that, again, I just continued to just change and just kind of flourish and just kind of really become the person who I am today. And you know, even being as an adult, there has been times where, you know, my mom still will reiterate that, you know, well, she used to, but you know, like now it's just like, it is what it is. Like, you know, I don't get any slack. Like, pretty much, like, you know, everybody knows. Like, I mean, obviously this was like, I'm 32 now, and I came out like at like, I want to say like 15. So of course, like, you know, you know, everybody's super supportive and things are very different than what they were. But you know, just to kind of go back to it, you know, if I feel like if you are struggling, you know, you have to be able to come out when you're ready to come out. You know, my story was a little bit different because I felt like I was forced out, and I felt like I wasn't really ready to come out of the closet. But I felt like, you know, I just got to the point where I just could not take the constant questioning. And so I came out to my mom at like 15. My dad, like, I never really came out to my dad. I just was like bringing girls around. And my grandma, like I said, I never really came out to, like, I never felt the need to really come out to anybody else. I just kind of would just bring girls around, and it's just kind of like, you know, they just knew. I don't know, like, I didn't really have to come out. I felt like the only real person I ever really had to come out to was my mom. So, you know, I'm thankful that, you know, things didn't end, you know, badly for me, because I know a lot of people do go through those situations where, you know, they come out and things do end, you know, badly, and, you know, they are kicked out, and, you know, they don't have a support system. And although my mom wasn't like, you know, hip hip hooray, I'm glad that you're gay, or anything like that, it was more so of like, you know, as my child, I don't agree with your decisions, but I do love you as my child. So, you know, I was very thankful for that. And pretty much once I told my mom, I really just felt like, you know, nobody else really mattered. My grandma, you know, I never really came out to her, but she kind of like came out to me. And when I say came out to me, she just kind of like reinforced that she pretty much already knew, and she was supportive of that. So I was like super thankful, like, because again, you know, I come from a very like traditional, semi-religious family, so I really didn't know. And again, when I came out, being gay was not like the cool thing to do. You know, being gay wasn't like it is now. So, you know, that was very difficult for me. So I just wanted to go ahead and, you know, share my story with you guys, because again, I know sometimes you guys are, you know, looking for support and looking for other people's story to kind of lean on. And, you know, I definitely hope that my story was able to kind of give you guys some insight as far as, you know, just kind of into my world. You know, I'm just glad that I didn't have to go through some of the trials and the tribulations, you know, just from other people's story that I hear about. And I'm glad that I didn't have to, you know, be forced out of the house, or, you know, uprooted from, you know, where I was comfortable at. And, you know, I'm just glad that my mom was able to put aside, you know, her feelings. You know, I'm just glad that my mom was able to put aside her feelings for, you know, for me, really. So I'm thankful for that. You know, basically the message that I just want to kind of give to you guys is just that, you know, if you are having a hard time coming out of the closet, you know, just wait for the time when you're ready. Like, you know, you can't sit here and, you know, have other people in your ear telling you when the time is right for you to come out of the closet. So make sure that when you do come out, it's on your own terms. Don't let anybody ever force you to feel like you have to say something that you're not ready to say, or admit to something that you're not ready to admit to. So that's definitely, you know, my main source of advice is, you know, to be comfortable with yourself and be comfortable, you know, with your surroundings, and come out when you are ready to come out. That was, you know, pretty much some of the lessons that I took away from that. You know, just overall, you know, being gay has definitely been easier, you know, in the years, you know, as far as being gay has definitely been easier as the years have gone on, because you just get to a point where you really don't care about other people's opinions. You don't really care about what other people have to say. You don't really care about much of anything other than, you know, this is your truth and you have to stand in your truth. So I don't want to make this video too long, but I definitely wanted to go ahead and share my experience with you guys, and I hope that you guys kind of, you know, enjoyed my story. Again, you know, there was definitely a lot of kind of like back and forth, and, you know, I definitely had to probably like cut out some parts because I didn't want this video to be super duper long. But I definitely hope that you guys are able to get some insight from me. And again, if you have any questions, anything I can answer, or just kind of, you know, if you want to talk about anything, please feel free to, you know, message me, you know, like this video, leave a comment, and I definitely will, you know, respond to, you know, any questions or concerns that you guys might have. But again, thank you for watching this video. If you made it to the end, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Definitely helps out the algorithm and helps me to give you guys some, you know, more cool videos like this. So also, if you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe. I definitely appreciate that, and definitely looking forward to sharing, you know, my journey with you guys. So until next time, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next video.